Welcome to Collaboration Conversations. I'm your host, Regina Partain Bergman, CEO of Bridgeport Strategy and co founder of the CEO Holy Grail. And I am delighted to be with you this evening and to have a guest co host. I'd like to welcome her now, Miss Terri Alford. Welcome, Terri. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good evening, everybody.
I'm so glad you agreed to be co-host. And folks, sometimes it is a challenge to make things happen the way they're supposed to. Tonight was one of those. So we are excited, doubly excited that everybody is here and we got through the challenge and we made it here. So, Terri, would you please share with us a bit about your journey getting to where you are now, who you serve, and why that's important to you?
Excellent question. So, my name is Terri Alford. I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist. I specialize in helping business women build wealth and financial freedom so that we can live, lead, and leave multi-million dollar legacies. In other words, I help you become your own bank and have six-figure retirement streams over six-figure retirement dreams. The reason this is important to me is because before I became a full-time entrepreneur and financial consultant, I thought having a six-figure business or a six-figure income was the thing. But now that I am a six-figure earner and I've been a six-figure earner for the last few years, I realize that this is just the foundation. This is the floor. In order for us to truly have financial freedom and truly have wealth, we need to build a multi-million dollar legacy. That means that we need to have six figures of retirement streams coming in. Those retirement streams may come from the different products that are out in the marketplace, or it may come from us building a business that is worth millions of dollars that can be sold for millions of dollars so that we can really enjoy our true retirement. All we have to do is be the CEO or the CEO emeritus and just make decisions and have a vision. So that is the goal for the women who are truly building wealth. We are striving to build wealth so that one day we can have even more options and have a multi-million dollar legacy. So that's who I specialize in helping. I do love helping women who have been a full-time entrepreneur or they're getting ready to become a full-time entrepreneur. They may have worked for a big law firm and now they have their own law practice. They may have worked for a large company and now they have their own business. I once was a full-time principal and now I have my own business as well. So I love helping those women in transition and those women who are looking to increase their income, their impact, and their influence in the marketplace. So thanks again, Regina, for having me here and having these lovely ladies who are here with me as well. I cannot wait for you all to learn more about them and what they do.
Amen. That's all I've got to say to all of that. Amen. That was wonderful. What a needed service, Terri. Uh, what a difference you're making in the lives of others. And it's so needed. There's so many people that are struggling, that haven't built those retirement incomes, that have, that need that guidance. Sometimes it's just because people don't know what they don't know, right? And they
Right?
need somebody who knows how to hold their hand and walk them down that path and help them get to where they want to be. So kudos to you for being that person. I appreciate that so very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So would you please introduce each of our guests and have them share a bit about their journey, who they serve, and why?
Well, I'm so excited to introduce to some and to present to others some of the women who I feel should be on your financial dream team. We're going to first start with Amy. Amy is a CPA. She's going to tell you more about her clientele that she loves serving, but I had the opportunity to meet Amy at a luncheon, and she and we looked at each other and I was like, I like what you're doing, and she was like, I like what you're doing, and here we are together. And so I first want to introduce you all to Amy on tonight. Amy, tell us, who are you, what do you do, and who do you serve?
Thank you so much. I always love to be introduced by you because you make me sound so much more exciting than I think I actually am. So I am your small business accountant. I love helping business owners ditch the number crunching stress, freeing up time and energy to focus on what they actually love. And that's building their business. I am a graduate of Baylor University. I worked in corporate for many, many years until about 2016. There's my green and gold pom pom. That's my favorite. Until 2016, when I actually lost my job. And I had been doing a little bit of contract work on the side that year and decided that, you know what, I think this is God's way of telling me that I need to do this full time. I was absolutely miserable in my corporate job and just, had a dream to make something more, do something more. And so I focus on those small business owners that want to decorate somebody's house. They want to help. They want to build their law firm. They want to, be that doctor that is, so focused on their patients. And I love helping those small business owners that numbers are not their thing. And you wear many, many hats as an entrepreneur. You're the marketer, you're the customer service, you're the accountant. And I want to take some of that off of your plate because, to be honest with you, if numbers aren't your thing, it's going on the back burner and you're not thinking about it at all until it's tax time. And then you start to talk to Sierra and Sierra goes, how are your books? What kind of shape are they in? And you haven't looked at them all year long. So I love doing what I do and focusing on the numbers so that you can do what you love to do.
Amazing. Fantastic. See, I told you all. Amy's amazing. Amazing, Amy. Thank you very much. May I go to the next person?
Please do.
Okay. So it's with much joy and excitement that I introduce you all to attorney Christian McCray Stewart. I call her my homegirl because we are from the same hometown. We are from the Memphis area. We've also been in the Mississippi area. She's an Ole Miss graduate. That's one of the top law schools in the country. And she's also an amazing person. Sometimes when we hear about lawyers and attorneys, we hear like, oh, lawyers like to lie. Like I was told when I was younger, like, if you want to be a lawyer, you got to be a good liar. No, not Christian. Christian is not just a good attorney, but she has a great heart and she loves serving people. So, Christian, tell us about who you are, what do you do, and who do you serve?
Thank you so much, Terri. Her introductions are just amazing.
They are.
So amazing. But as she stated, so I'm the founding attorney of McCray Stewart and Associates. I have been practicing for 12 years now. And out of that 6 years, I have been running my own shop. And I will say what I do now was not a decision. It was definitely a calling, something that I knew that I was going to be doing at the age of 4. No reference, no role model. This was just like, God was like, this is what you're going to do. And here I am doing it. And so I'm licensed in Mississippi, Texas, and Georgia. And those who I serve is just the people who feel like they're not heard. They don't have individuals who they feel hear them out. And this is my passion. As Terri stated, I like to serve people. You have people navigating various legal issues. And I'm kind of a general practitioner. I do probate and estate planning. I do criminal defense. I do family law, personal injury, just kind of a jack of all trades, if you will, just from everything that I was able to get from my mentor. But I like to serve people. I'm trying to understand who you are as an individual and what are your desires and your aspirations, and how does this legal issue that you're now facing, what do we need to do to ensure that you're able to continue on with life, that you're able to continue to pursue your future? And so I want to be a voice for my client, if you will. There are so many things that they do not know. And so I take what I do know and I utilize that to their benefit for their best interest. And when I encounter people, I'm cool, I'm calm and collective. But I tell my clients, if you ever have to get to a place that we have to go in the courtroom, that's when you put on the gloves. You don't have to be combative when you're out here talking to opposing counsel. I've had an experience. I was in trial and the attorney was like, outside of the courtroom, you are just so nice. You're so calm. He said, you got in here, you had my witness scared. And I was like, well, that wasn't the point. But outside, you always working to benefit your clients. I never want to have a demeanor, one that's not in my character, but also that doesn't benefit my client. But I love serving. You have some attorneys, they're getting into 12, 15 years. And they're like, I'm tired. I'm just done. And I'm like, when you're fulfilling your calling, it's not work anymore. It's truly a joy. And so I love serving those. And I tell people, find somebody who truly cares about you as a person. When you do that, you're going to be in great hands.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Excellent.
Isn't she lovely?
Yes,
So
it is.
lovely. I know caring starts with a C, but we're going to call her Caring Christian. Okay, so last on tonight, I introduce to some and present to others Sierra, a new era. I have had the opportunity to see Sierra grow and see her business and her practice grow since we first met last spring. And she is a tax professional. She's a tax strategist, and she loves helping people with their books. So if you do not have someone on your financial dream team that's going to keep you out of trouble with the three letters, I'll let her tell you what the three letters are. The people with the three big letters, then you definitely want to speak to Sierra. Sierra, who are you and what do you do?
Thank you for the introduction. Like you said, you make me sound all like powerful, like this. I feel like the lights is on me. Like I'm in no big audience. Like, round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. I truly appreciate it. And thank you, Regina, for having me here again along these beautiful ladies. Of course, my name is Sierra Jones. I am a tax strategist with A+ Tax and Financial Solutions. And I've been doing this nearly 10 years, but been in business publicly for 5 years. It'll be year 5 next, 2025, actually. So, but my passion is helping women entrepreneurs, kind of like Terri, with them transitioning from full-time to entrepreneurship, or they're still working and they're entrepreneur, but they have their own business. And my mission is to help them kind of fill that gap of knowledge between understanding the tax code and their books and putting it all together. Because, like Amy said, you're wearing so many hats when you're in a business. You're the marketer, you're the consultant, you're doing everything. And so it's nice to kind of have somebody come in and take that load off. And that's what I do. Like Christian said, I am nice, sweet, bubbly, friendly energy here. But when I go to IRS, it's business. Okay. I work for the client and we gotta cut this bill down. And a lot of people don't understand the importance of just taxes in general. A lot of people think it's a lot of math. It's more reading than math, I tell you. Don't get me wrong, we work the numbers, but it's a lot of reading, and understanding the tax code can be very complex and difficult for a lot of people. So my job is to simplify it to where they understand it and they can incorporate it into their business so that, they don't owe the IRS no money and they're out of trouble and they remain compliant. So that is my job and what I do. And I have a passion for it. I love it. I actually like the challenges. So I'm good with it. So yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's wonderful. Terri, thank you. What a great panel you brought together. The financial dream team. I love it. That's awesome. So I want us to take off from that point, a financial dream team. And I want to ask you, what do you suggest to people, no matter where they are in the world, right? What do you suggest for them to be able to create their own financial dream team? And in addition to the types of positions that we have on this dream team, what else should they be considering to have that full financial dream team?
Well, I will start by saying you definitely want to find someone that you feel comfortable with. Because in order for you to have a true financial dream team, you have to get financially naked. You are going to the financial doctors, right? And so you have to find someone that you feel like is going to be someone that is trustworthy, but also someone who's going to help guide you on your way. And we work with women who are highly successful. Sometimes we work with women who have great influence. They have great impact. Sometimes we work with men who are pretty popular. And so they want to find someone who is someone they can trust. They don't have to worry about their business being all out in the streets, because you when you have a CPA, when you have an estate planning attorney, when you come to a financial consultant and you're like, I need life insurance, I need retirement plans, I'm starting from scratch. You're coming saying like, this, here are my gaps, right? These are the things that people don't see on social media. These are the things that my family don't know I don't have, right? And so when you are looking to build your financial dream team, you want to look for someone that you're comfortable with, because you will really have to uncover some things. I remember when I first hired my CPA, she was actually referred to me a few years ago, but my stuff was a mess. It was a hot mess, a hot, juicy mess. It was right after the pandemic, hot, juicy mess. I was in survival mode because it was my first year in being a full-time entrepreneur. Both of my parents were ill during the pandemic. They're both cancer free now, but there were just so many things happening to where looking at my accounts and numbers was just something I just kept procrastinating on. And I knew I wanted to buy a home. So since I knew I wanted to buy a home, I was focused on just making the money. But at the beginning of 2021, when I got ready to close on the home, like I closed on the home, everything was great. But Uncle Sam was like, come here, lady,
some of that.
no write-offs, like with no not no write-offs, no dependents, no children, and you're in another tax bracket. Come here, girl. So
I need some of that.
I want to make sure. And I actually was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? What is this? Why me? Like I felt like I was being punished. And so again, when you are looking for people that are on your financial dream team, you want to look for people that you can trust, people that you like, and people that give you like that warm and fuzzy feel. Because the truth of the matter is you are going to have to get uncomfortable, and you may cry, it may get ugly. I mean, just think about like when you go to the therapist, like they'll tell you like you may cry, it may feel worse before it feels better.
Yeah.
It hurts to rip that Band-Aid off, doesn't it?
Yes.
Awesome. Other comments that you have for that? Sierra, I saw you nodding your head and agreeing with everything there. What can you add?
Yeah, I love how she said financially naked, because that's, I mean, and you're gonna cry. I've said on the phone plenty of times, and they cry, but after we talk, they feel a lot better. But it's getting it out, getting with someone, like she said, that makes you feel comfortable is so important, and somebody that you trust, that's very important when we're talking about finances, for sure. So
and I think it's somebody that you Terri said trustworthy, but it's somebody that you want to partner with. The CPA, the tax strategist, the attorney, they're not somebody that you're just handing over your books, handing over your legal matters, and then you taking a step back as the business owner. It's somebody, I tell people all the time, and one of the things that I offer to my clients is a 30-minute phone call after I've given them a complete set of books on a monthly basis. Because in order to grow your business, in order to know whether or not you can hire an employee or you can get that line of credit at the bank, you have to know your numbers.
Yeah.
And unless you're partnering with somebody and being in, even though you're not doing the down and dirty on a daily basis, you need to have somebody that is knowledgeable enough that they can explain it to you on your level.
Right.
A lot of business owners may or may not be numbers people. They have a passion to make somebody's house look good. They have a passion to help somebody out of a legal battle. But you need to be able to put some cookies on the lower shelf, basically, so that somebody can reach it and explain it the way that person can understand it. And that takes a partner, not just somebody that you call every once in a while to get a balance sheet or an income statement.
You are so right.
Yeah, that's very
so
powerful.
true. Yeah. Exactly. Christian?
It is so true. And just like Annie was saying, I tell people all the time, get to know the person. All right. Because everybody can have a title, right? Because you get to the point that you realize you don't know what you don't know. So as Amy stated, you want to partner with someone who's going to help you kind of put your vision and put things in place to help you so that what you're actually envisioning, that it actually comes to pass. But get to know the person, sit down and have those conversations. You can begin to have those interactions, and sometimes go with your gut feeling. If you encounter somebody and you just, something is off and it doesn't feel right, it's okay to say, well, I'm not going to move forward with this partnership.
Right.
Everybody isn't for everybody, and you have to come to know that. You have to know that. And when you connect yourself with the right people, the people who you do want to be partnered with, the people who do make you comfortable, the people who you do believe see you and understand the vision that you have, that's what's going to help you continue to grow and excel to next levels.
Very good. You've all kind of answered the next question that I was thinking of, but I'll expand it a little bit. So, Terri, you talked about, being financially naked. And I think that most of us feel that way, so what can we do? What can we say, or how do you suggest that people who are afraid of being financially naked move forward? What can they do to ease that journey? And I think you've answered a lot of it in terms of the trust element and the comfort and building the relationship. Is there anything else that they can do? And then the subset for that is there an element of who they should start with in their financial dream team? Where do they begin? Who's that first relationship they should have?
Okay, great question. So, again, because I know who I serve and I know the type of clients that are attracted to me, they are high achieving people. They
Right.
are the straight A students or the ones that take the test and they study like the morning of, like they're the high performers, high
Right.
achievers, right? They're used to being at the top of their class. So when it comes to an area where they may not be at the top of their class or the top of their game, is a little uncomfortable. And so I say this for those people who feel as if you have to be perfect and every area has to be perfect. One of the things that you can do is actually look up the stats so that you realize that you are not alone. So if you feel like you are the only one who used your entire retirement plan to fund your business dream and you have to start over, go look at the stats. If you feel like you are the only one who has to start over because you went through a divorce and now you have to just begin your entire financial planning journey from scratch because your spouse took care of everything, like look at the stats, you are not alone. So I believe that community is important, and I believe also doing your research and reading and understanding that, again, you are not alone. Like there are other people who have actually dealt with what you have dealt with. They're going through what you're going through. So do not beat yourself up. You don't know what you don't know. You didn't know what you didn't know. And so we are all on this journey called life.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? How about anybody else got something to add to that?
Yes, I'll add. I think sometimes people begin to question because they don't think that they're at the level that they would desire to be or where others think they may where they probably should be. And the thing is, don't despise small beginnings. Regardless of where you are, you have to start at that point. If you want to grow, an apple started off as a seed. So you begin to plant the seeds, you water it, it's going to take some time, and then you're going to reap the harvest. And in that process, you're connecting with the right people who are going to help you get there. But just simply don't despise the small beginnings. You have a dream. And the thing is, getting started is what's going to get you there. It doesn't happen overnight. And so you find those trusted people who are going to also encourage you, right? Because when you're connecting with people, you want someone, they don't care about where you are and what it looks like. They see the dream and the vision that you're having. They're like, okay, I'm going to come alongside you so that this dream does come to pass.
Excellent. Sarah?
I mean, they said it all. They both said it all. They said it. I was sitting there thinking, she said, I was like, oh, yep, yeah, perfect. Yeah, don't despise small beginnings. Like, that's right on. So, yeah, you took it right out. Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't have their financial dream team in place, where do they start? is there an element that they should start with first? And I think I know the answer to that, but I want to hear it from you. And maybe I want to hear it from Amy.
Well,
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah. I mean, I think it's very important that you kind of, it goes hand in hand with actually Christian and I, because a lot of small business owners or entrepreneurs that are just getting started don't know what type of legal entity they need to be. Do they need to be a sole proprietor? Do they need to form an LLC? There are things that can benefit you. If you are a limited liability company, and both CPAs and attorneys can actually form those LLCs for you, but in some cases you don't actually need an LLC. Do you need to be an LLC, which is your legal entity, but then what's your tax entity? So we actually, all three of us work hand in hand from the very beginning, because there are just certain things, you know, I have a new client that is an LLC, which is his legal entity, but he's being taxed as an S Corp. He in no way, shape, or form needs to be an S Corp. And he didn't consult anybody before that, before he started his business, to ask that question. And now he's stuck, because if he decides he doesn't want to be an S Corp, you actually can't then invoke that again for another period of time. So there's things that you need to ask those kinds of questions from all three of us. In the very beginning, to even know what type of entity you want to be. And then you do come to the bookkeeper or the small business accountant in order to get you set up in QuickBooks correctly, get you set up in payroll correctly if you want to. You know, if you have employees, or if you're going to pay yourself if you're an S Corp. I always strongly suggest, even when you don't think you can afford an accountant, talk to somebody. I customize all of my plans to where you are right then, to at least get you started in the right direction. Because what a lot of times happens is, in 2 or 3 years, if you don't get started in that right direction, you come to me as Terri, who's a hot mess. And then it's cost you a lot more money for somebody to unravel everything that you've done over the last 2 or 3 years, than instead of just doing it correctly and building from that over a period of time. Sierra cannot do what she does if you don't have what I do. So she can't tax plan for you. She can't strategize for you unless you have a complete and accurate set of books. So we always, it's kind of like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? You know, it's we all work together.
Yeah. And I love that you said that. You know, when I started my company when we started the company, I guess, we got the CPA and the attorney together. We all were on that call. You know, they were in different places, so we were doing it via phone. That was way before our Zoom days began. But it was so important to have both of them involved in that process of setting up the company. And it was easy also to see where their knowledge complemented one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So super important. Super important. Christian, what are some of the other things that they might need legal counsel on, in terms of that dream team, that financial dream team, and setting up that business? What are some other areas that they might need to seek some legal counsel on?
Yes. So one that a lot of people disregard is that their estate planning. The estate planning. So you're looking for this dream. You want to build this wealth. You have a vision, not only for yourself, but that you want to pass down to the future generations. Well, with that, you want a plan in place to secure as much of your wealth as possible. Sierra was saying the IRS, Terri stated, when you get that tax bill and they're like, you owe all this money. Well, when it's all said and done, what do you want to happen with what you are building? And unfortunately, so many people today, they don't want to explore it. for the fear of thinking, well, maybe this insinuates that, my time is coming soon. It's like, no, the thing is you want to plan.
Yeah,
If
because
you
we don't know
plan,
when it is.
Yeah,
right, we don't know. And so you want to plan ahead,
Yeah.
the saying, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Yeah.
You're building all this. Why do you not want to be in control of what happens to it when you're gone? You can't take it with you. What does that look like for your spouse? What does that look like for your children? What do you want to happen with your business? And there's different things in place for you to limit even after you're gone. Even once you're gone, you still don't want to give all your money to the IRS. Well, it's things that you can do to set it up so you're maintaining a lot of your wealth for your family. And so
Right.
I tell people that early on, go ahead and have those conversations. Have those conversations early. When I was in the Air Force, we used to tell our airmen coming in all the time, have the conversations, plan out what you want to happen to what you have, what you've built when that time comes and goes. And that's why you want somebody who you do trust, who you're comfortable with, because you can share the good, bad, and the ugly. I don't want to leave this person anything, or I want,
Yeah.
but all those things. And you show them the vision and they help you and direct you. Okay, well, this is a right fit for you. This is something you can consider. That's probably not going to be beneficial for you and your situation. And the thing about it is, once you begin to plan it and put it in place, as you are growing, because we're talking about women building generational wealth. We're not just
Right.
sitting here, we're going to continue. And so you can mold it and transform it and change it up as you need to, as you continue to grow.
Excellent. And thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
Excellent. So, Sierra, from the tax strategist piece, can you enlighten us a bit about the value of having that tax strategist on that financial dream team? Why do they need that? And what's it
Like
going to do for them?
Yeah, like Amy said, it's crucial from the very beginning. Just because, and also like Christian said, when you fail to plan, you fail. What is it? Hold on, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
I always get it mixed up. But it's important to have a plan in place and understand right off top. Just because then you'll be, like you said, like how Terri said, you'll be a mess. And if once you bring a tax strategist on your team, this is somebody that's gonna get with Amy, is going to see the numbers. We see the clear picture and we can say, okay, you don't have to give all this money away to the IRS. This is what you can do to not only, you're going to keep money in the business, you're going to build generational wealth, and you're not having to give it over to the IRS. And a lot of people, they just assume they can't afford it, or they don't know what they don't know. And so they don't even, I guess they're scared. A lot of them are scared and just say, you know what, I'm just not going to deal with it. And they're actually hurting themselves more than helping by just saying, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just going to let it sit. And what happens is, interest adds daily, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now you're in this really deep hole. And now you're out of more money because now you've taken a small problem and you've made it bigger, when you could have gotten with someone from the jump and started, planning that out. And maybe we could put a strategy in place and say, okay, hey, if you do X, Y, Z, then you're going to not only going to save this amount of money, but you're going to be able to start building generational wealth for your family now versus just giving it over to the IRS. And I really stress the importance of that, because that is so important. I see so many people doing it. And I guess, like you said, they just don't know. But like Christian also stated, it's good to get with somebody that you trust. I always tell people, interview the person, vet the people out, check them out, check their Google reviews out. Schedule a call. I like what Amy said. She like, I get on a call. Don't be afraid. Even if you know you can't afford them or you feel like you can't, get on the phone call, because a lot of people probably don't know that Amy does a customized plan for everybody on your level. But you wouldn't know that if you don't book a call.
Right.
You never know what, your business can that's available for your business, what strategies or what can be placed for your business if you don't get on that call and say, okay, hey, this is where I'm at. What can you do for me? How can you help? What's next? And then we kind of go from there. But yeah, I think we all kind of work together. And it's like, you can't really have one without the other, Yeah. I mean, you can, but eventually you're going to need that team to come together to really take your business to the next level.
And might I add that part of the reason, that was great, part of the reason that you want to have a financial dream team is also to help you see your blind spots. So if you have not noticed, like, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you point out those things that you may not know is actually costing you money, is costing you time, is putting you at risk. And so one of the things that I share with business owners on all levels, is that you should always have something in place so that if you do have a medical emergency, you're able to pull from an account without having to pull from all of your assets. And so, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I will say that many people, for example, we're talking about women, many people get diagnosed with things like cancer and they live. But while they're going through cancer, who's taking care of the business? So if you are a solopreneur, or if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are a small business owner and small business leader, you must have something called accelerated living benefits life insurance as the foundation on your financial plan. Because if you do not have that and you become ill with cancer or critical or chronic illness, then it's going to affect how you move and shake, and your business will not be sustainable if you can't run it if you are a solopreneur. So you want to be able to access those hundreds of thousands of dollars that you can access if you have a policy like that in place. So you won't have to pull from your 401k, your 403b, or any of the other things. And so again, you must have a financial dream team to help you see your blind spots along the way, because everything may be going well today, but you also want to plan for the unexpected.
Yes. And what was that called again? Accelerated leader what?
Accelerated living benefits life insurance.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So let's tackle one other area here that I think is one of those we don't know what we don't know areas, and probably everyone in this room can talk about, and that is trust, where trusts come into all of this. I think there's a lot of folks who don't understand that. Raising my hand, not fully understand, I get bits of it, but
Yes. Many
So,
people, they don't know about trust, but they are a good tool if you know how to utilize it. And some people think about, they're just like, oh, I want to create a trust. I want to create a trust. And it's like, okay, great. We can definitely help you with that. But the thing is that you have to deposit things into that trust. Simply having it in and of itself does you no good. You have to utilize it. So for instance, like Terri is saying, like different things that you have in place. So if you have like life insurance and things of that nature, people don't know that you can name your trust as a beneficiary. And then you have your beneficiaries. Well, you can name, the trust as your beneficiary. And then you have like your children in there, and you can direct and control how that money is going to be distributed to them, when it's going to be distributed to them. Because we know when we're all young, you don't necessarily have the mental development to analyze and to do the right things and manage money.
Right. Yes. Sometimes the worst thing we can do for our family is leave them, and when they're young, leave them a chunk of money. And
Yes. And so that's the things, beyond, and also too with trust, let me put this out here because this is the most important thing. With trust, you don't have to go through probate. So whatever property you put into that trust, when your time comes, it's going to go directly to who you have listed as beneficiaries for your for your family, whether it's your children, your spouse. Even if you want to do like a charity, you want to give a charity, your assets, you can do those things. And a lot of it is just the tax benefits. And I won't get too legalese with it, but you have revocable trust, irrevocable trust, and depending on the uniqueness of your circumstance, that's why you want to be with someone or partner with someone who's going to give you direction. Like, well, you don't necessarily want to create a trust where you don't maintain control. Or yes, you want to do this. And this is in working with your CPA or your tax strategist. This is why you may want to take this step with your trust so that it saves your estate from having to pay Uncle Sam all this money when your time comes.
Right. Sierra, I would imagine you have something to add to that.
Yeah, she said it all. I mean, she said that's why it's important, because that's why it's important to get with somebody, because like she said, how many people say, oh, I just want to trust, and like, okay, but you have to stuff in it, right? You just can't get it. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna really benefit you. So, and so having someone on your team, that's why, like Terri said, having somebody in the blind spot, look at the blind spots and things like that. You need to have somebody on your team to kind of help guide you and tell you more about it, because, especially with social media, you see everybody saying, do this, do that. And it's so, busy. And so people are saying, oh, I saw this on this, and they said, you just do this. And it sounds so simple, but it's more to it than what is being put out there a lot of times. So that's why it's very important to, build a little dream team of your own that you can kind of have people to consult with before you make those decisions and see if it's best for your business.
Excellent. Yeah, you can't always find all the answers, the correct answers, by typing it into a search bar or putting it into an AI chat of some kind.
Can I just speak to that? That is so true.
Let me elaborate on that real quick.
Yes, seek people out on the front end. Don't wait till things are in shambles and then you want and you're looking for a magic genie to make it all go away.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. And sometimes you'll save yourself a lot of money, a lot of stress, a lot of unnecessary time if you will just go and seek someone on the front end. And even with all of these professionals and everything that we're doing, sometimes people's mindset is like, oh, well, I can't afford it and all these different things. You never know if you never take the time to even initiate the conversation. You don't know where people will actually meet you at when they see what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
And I will say you really can't afford not to have a financial dream team. I know I couldn't. I thought I could, but I didn't when I realized that I needed assistance. And let me say this for the people who may think like, I know how to do that. I have a degree. I have an undergraduate degree in finance, and I still needed to have my own financial dream team. Okay. Because when it came time to like sitting and looking at all the numbers, I just did not do it in 2020. I just did not. And so I actually had to have my CPA to actually show me how much money was I spending, how much money was I wasting, what are my buying habits. And so everybody needs a them for them. So don't think that if you are in the financial services industry or you may be an attorney, like you want to make sure that you have a you for you. Every coach needs a coach. Every teacher needs a teacher. Every pastor needs a pastor. Every therapist needs a therapist. Every doctor needs a doctor.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Amy, any thoughts from the accounting perspective on the trust?
I don't really do. And I mean, I think the trust is more of a legal thing and a tax strategy thing. I don't have a lot of, I know some people talk now about putting your business in a trust. Not owning anything personally. I don't have any experience with that as of yet. So that may be something that I'll have to do some research on to make sure that, if somebody comes to me and if it's a good fit, as a client that I read more up on. But most of the time it's just your, run of the mill company books and keeping them all, accurate and complete and timely. I think that's another thing that we really need to concentrate on is that, if you're only doing your books every quarter or if you're doing them every 6 months, they really are only as good as how timely they are. You can't make a good business decision if your books are 6 months old. You just don't know where you are. A lot of businesses are cyclical. A lot of businesses have seasonal. They're seasonal. And so, if you are not at least on a 30-day cycle, you like we've been talking about, you don't know what you don't know. And books that are 3 months old or 6 months old are too old for you to make a business decision. Especially if it's an on the spot business decision. And the other thing that I talk to a lot of business owners about it, when they talk about accounting, to a lot of businesses are a cost center. They're not a revenue. You don't think of it as a revenue producing center. It's not a product that they're going to sell. It's not a service that they're going to sell. And so I like to explain it to my clients as it actually is, if you think about it, if you're a lawyer and you're charging $400 or $500 an hour and you're spending 3 hours, 5 hours a week on your books, that's how much money are you losing by not adding another client to your business?
Yeah.
So think of what your hourly charge is. And if you're spending it on accounting, you're not spending it on networking. You're not spending it on acquiring your own clients in order to build your business. You're not providing that time that that you can do customer service. So it has to be an investment. You have to think of it as an investment instead of just it being an expense to your bottom line.
Right. Yes, I agree. 100%. This has been a lively discussion, ladies. Any final thoughts in terms of the dream team aspect and folks getting started if they've not moved forward yet in some way? Just kind of, or we covered everything, or do you have any final thoughts around that, how they get started?
Just the last thought, and it's kind of piggybacks off what Amy just stated. Think of all this that you're doing, the people you're connecting with, your tax strategist, your CPA, your attorney, your wealth strategist. You're investing in yourself, and you can never go wrong when you invest in yourself. And if you don't do it, how do you think you're going to get other people to do it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Very good. Oh, this has been great, ladies. We're going to move into our wrap-up round, and I'm going to ask Miss Terri to run the wrap-up round for us. So, Terri, would you call on everyone to give us their final thoughts about collaboration and their contact information?
Yes, absolutely. So all of us will actually be in the same place at the same time in a few weeks because we are going to be up-leveling our income, our impact, and our influence by being at a beautiful space called the Attract Abundance Conference. And we all became attracted to each other, and we're going to be attracted in the room. And I'm going to share with you how to attract more ideal clients and business partners like the women that you see here.
Awesome.
And some of the women here have already collaborated. So Kristen and I are on the lineup, but Amy and Sierra are attendees at the conference, but they've already collaborated. And so since this is called Collaborative Conversations, I guess we'll start with you, Sierra. Can you share with us the importance of collaborating as a business owner, as a woman in business?
I thank you. And I definitely think it's important to collaborate and meet with other people. And you never know, just kind of like what we've been talking about all this whole time. You don't know what you don't know. You never know who you may know and who that person may not, and who that person know. And it just keeps going and keeps going. And I think, entrepreneurship can be lonely. And so, connecting yourself with other women that know the struggles and collaborating with them and building a network and a community is very crucial during this journey. So I think doing that is very important.
Yes, excellent, excellent. And Amy, as you have made your way around DFW and you're making your name known and you're speaking on panels and networking, I've seen you, Amy. Why would you say it's important for women to collaborate in your field, in your industry, and also with your level of experience? Because you're a very wise woman, but you still have been able to go out and meet new people that have taught you new things.
Well, I love that you said wise instead of old.
You're wise.
I totally appreciate that. I actually, Terri and I were on a panel a couple of weeks ago, and it was on the importance of networking. And I shared that I am an accountant, and we don't necessarily enjoy networking. We tend to be introverts. We tend to not be risk takers. And, but if I wanted to level up and if I wanted to grow my business, then I had to step out of my comfort zone and I had to start pretending to be a people person. Now, that doesn't mean that when I come home from these that I won't just completely crash and have to take a whole 24-hour period to recharge myself. But I think that meeting women in the same space, meeting small business owners in the same space is so important because we can all learn from one another. And I think what my passion is to be that small business cheerleader. I love seeing people succeed. Yes, I was not a cheerleader growing up. You did not want to see that. But I love seeing people succeed. And I think to be able to see each other succeed means that we have to partner with one another. We have to, I don't know the legal side of stuff. Now I have Christian that I can be able to refer to and go, okay, what do I not know? How can I piggyback off of your knowledge in order to help my clients? Sierra, I'm a CPA. I don't do my own taxes. I don't know taxes. I don't want to know taxes. They are not my forte. Which means then, though, that I partner with other women or tax strategists in order to be able to provide my clients the best team that will help their business grow and succeed in building what their dream is.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. That was perfect. Christian, tell us about the power of collaborating. You not only are a speaker at the Attract Abundance Conference, but you actually said, you know what? I believe in what you're doing. I want my law firm to be a sponsor. So tell us the
Nice.
importance of collaborating from a sponsorship level and why we should collaborate as women in business.
For one, it's the support, it's the encouragement, it's the motivation. And when you're desiring to grow, you want to be around people who have gone where you desire to go or who are headed in that direction. It says iron sharpens iron, right? A rising tide is going to lift all boats. And so you become the company that you keep. And so if you want to go out here and you want to build something great, why not be in the company of women who are desiring to do the same thing? And even as you're building, you're going to make these connections. And we talk about our clients, right? Well, I can refer my clients to Amy. I can refer my clients to Sierra. I can refer clients to you, Terri, right? But then when I see what you all are doing, I'm like, well, there's some blind spots in my business. Amy, let me schedule a consult with you. You're probably the person that I need to partner with. So even as we're thinking on, the outside and who we can refer in, we're building this nucleus in the inside, and we're also supporting each other in that fashion. What we can accomplish when we come together is so much more than we can do out there trying to do it on our own.
Yes. So powerful.
Amazing,
So
ladies.
powerful. Well, as I get ready to wrap up, I will say that if you do not know, if you did not hear me, if you caught on late, if you came on late, October 24th through the 26th, we are having the Attract Abundance Conference in Frisco, Texas. And not only will you see these lovely ladies there, but you will see other women in the space. And the programming is designed for us to attract abundance in the room. So you may meet your next client, your next business partner. You may meet your next accountability partner. And we're going to have collaborative conversations all throughout. We're focusing on our money. We're focusing on our mindset. We're focusing on our movement and all the things that you need to know in order to be a businesswoman that is building wealth and a multi-million-dollar legacy. So thank you so much, Regina, for having me here. I forgot to give you an adjective. So I am going to call you Revolutionary Regina. Thank you so much for having us here on tonight.
And your final thoughts about collaboration and your contact information, Terri.
Yes. Okay. So my final thoughts on collaboration is, as Christian said, together we can achieve so much more. We can achieve so much more. And honestly, our businesses will grow at the speed of relationships. So it's not just about like networking or exchanging a business card, but it's about deepening the relationships. And then after we're deepening the relationships within our circles, within our groups, it's also going to deepen our pockets. Can I get an amen? Can I get an
Amen.
amen? And now all of us, all of my friends are millionaires. You know what I mean? So yes, that's the power of collaboration. And you can find me. Yes, I said we're having our conference. You may say, who is we? So I host a group. I have a group called Business Women Building Wealth. If you want to be a part of that free community, you can go to jointerri.com. If you're interested in booking a free consultation with me, you can go to jointerri.com. Actually, there'll be a link there where you can book a consultation. You can learn more about my financial services business, which is TNA Financial Group. And you can also learn more about the events that are to come.
Love it. Thank you, ladies. And I wrote down that grow at the speed of relationships. I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's awesome. This was fantastic. Thank you so much for all being here. What a wealth of knowledge is in this room, folks, and amongst these ladies. And they are truly making a difference in the lives of those that they are interacting with. And I love how you've all come together in this spirit of collaboration and supporting one another and your clients and people in general. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Terri, thanks again for being our guest co-host tonight. Appreciate that. And folks, we appreciate you joining us tonight, or whenever you're watching this. We hope that you got a lot out of it, that it showed you how you can make a difference in your own life, in your own business, and in the lives of others. And we hope you'll join us again next time on Collaboration Conversations. Bye for now.